Welcome to another episode of Coffee and Whiskey with Ivy. I hope you noticed this new Honolulu hanging around. My crew is trying to make me look like I'm in a jungle. The highlight of this past week must be the news on subject-based branding to replace streaming in schools. More schools adopt flexible timetables. Well, Minister Ong Ye Kung, I salute you. You got foresight and you got guts. But we must also understand that it is no point just bringing kids to be book smart and who then become civil servants and make policies that are totally wrong. I urge you to read this article, How Economic Inequality Gives Rise to Hyper-Parenting. And it goes on to say that the common denominator in countries where intense achievement-oriented parenting abounds is a large gap between the rich and the poor. Conversely, where inequality is low and governments provide safety nets, a more relaxed, permissive parenting style holds sway. You know, this section says, when parenting becomes an arms race, the rich have a clear advantage. Another problem in countries that embrace intensive style, obviously when you're holding down 2 or 3 jobs, you have less time to drill your kids and so forth. So read this article, because one of the most important solutions that is staring at all of us in the face, but none of us want to face it, is this. The only solution is to attack the problem at the root by combating inequality. You know, you can say that very poor children can make it to the top, but how many of them really can? So tackle the root of the problem. Make their parents be able to earn enough money to support them with respect. In the section under government, we are looking at Miss Indrani Raja's comment that schools are inclusive, workplace and society must be too. So, a very good point made by half Indian, half Chinese, Miss Indrani Raja, who is like me. But let me ask you, Minister Indrani, are we also going to remove HDB racial zoning, CDAC, Mendaki, SINDA, etc.? Are we also going to stop the Mandarinization of our country? We are first Singaporeans, and then we are Hokkien, or Teochew, or Cantonese, right? If Mandarin is so important, why didn't we bring Chinese women in as maids? Because I learned to speak Kung Fu Hokkien way, Teochew way from my servants. So we should bring Chinese women in here as our maids so the kids can speak Mandarin well. So Miss Indrani Raja, if we want to make people inclusive, look deeper into the problems that have been created by your friends in Parliament. Singapore to grow high-tech farming with 18-hectare facility at Sungai Kadut. Singapore opening up land and opportunities for agri-tech ventures. Minister Masagos, you are now the expert on farming, right? Well done. But seriously, look at what are we talking when we talk high-tech. We are talking heavy investment. We are talking about a system that hasn't been proven, because what they are growing now is things like strawberries, kale, etc., which are expensive, maybe $20, $30 a kilo. They are not growing chai sim, kailan, and kangkong, which people eat at $2 a kilo. So, Minister Masagos, before we rush in and go into this high-tech, wonderful answer to our problems, please come out to the crunchy countryside and have a coffee with me, because you cannot have a whiskey. I've heard of bullshit, but this takes the piece of cake, you know. APB Singapore wants Asia to say cheers to zero alcohol Heineken. Why would I want to drink zero alcohol Heineken? I drink to get happy. How charming. This lady gives me hope. At 90, she runs a noodle shop. But the point is, most people don't want to be a hawker. And the main reason is it's too hot. So why don't we just air condition all hawker centers? Solar power and air conditioning is perfect. Impossible burger looks like meat, tastes like meat, but isn't meat. Why do we eat it? And how cheap is it? Free cervical cancer vaccine for Sec 1 girls. The vaccine is not the answer. The best protection is to give all the girls a chastity belt. They can pee, they can poo, but they cannot be poked. And give all the boys a safety crash helmet for their dick, so they can pee, they can poo, but they cannot use it to poke. That's the only answer. SCDF puts out fire after 19-hour battle. SCDF, as always, I salute you. But remember, they use 19 hours of water to put out the fire. And last week, I said they use rainwater. It's not. They are using tap water or potable water. So, Minister Masagos, are you in charge of water? Please tell these guys to stop doing that. Thank you for watching another episode of Coffee and Whiskey with Ivy. Remember to subscribe and remember to cheers for a happy day.